A historic shot of hope. The first ever COVID vaccine will be given in Spokane County today. We're live at Sacred Heart, where a local physician will become the first person in the county to receive the coronavirus vaccine.
Vice President Mike Pence just became the highest profile person yet to publicly receive the vaccine, and U.S. officials are expected to approve a second COVID vaccine soon.
Congress is on the verge of passing a new round of stimulus checks. This morning, what the new benefits would mean for you.
We have an atmospheric river setting up today. That means a warm, wet, and windy weekend ahead.
Up with KREM starts right now with Jen York, Joshua Robinson, Jeremy Legoo, and Dana Marie McNichol.
It is 6 o'clock on your Friday morning, a historic shot of hope. The first ever COVID vaccine has been given in Spokane County today. We just saw it a few minutes ago live from Sacred Heart, where a local physician became the first person in Spokane County to receive the first coronavirus vaccine. You're taking a look at that shot now. Didn't even seem to flinch, Tim. He had it easy. Yeah,
absolutely. A big day here in our area. Vice President Mike Pence, also another high-profile person receiving the vaccine. So we have much more coverage coming up a little bit later here on Up with KREM. But first, we do want to say a very happy Friday. It is finally Friday. We made it almost to the weekend.
Yeah, and again, just to reiterate, you're looking at what we just saw moments ago. If you were with us over the past 20 minutes here on Up with KREM, we got to watch that first COVID vaccine given in Spokane. A historic moment happening at Sacred Heart in the last half hour as a Providence transplant physician received that first dose, Tim.
Yeah, and also we got to give him a round of applause because we just found out that he had a full night of transplants and is actually on the tail end of his shift. Wow. He was like, oh, let's just go get the COVID vaccine. So a round of applause to him and all of our first responders on the front lines of this pandemic.
And our Nicole Hernandez was live as it happened as well. She's live now from Sacred Heart Medical Center this morning. We're going to check in with Nicole for what this morning entailed. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, Joshua and Tim. Like you guys were mentioning, a huge day for Spokane County, of course. And when watching all of the people who were able to talk before that vaccine was given out, really were giving messages of hope. But of course, like you just saw, we want to get straight to this video. Of course, take a look at this. You can see that is Dr. Ajoho getting that very first COVID-19 vaccine in Spokane County. He is a transplant physician here at Sacred Heart and is part of a group of Spokane doctors and nurses and caregivers that are all going to be getting this vaccine today. The live stream started with a blessing from Providence's mission leader. Then Dr. Ajoho talked quickly about how important getting this vaccine is. And this all comes as Washington State continues Part 1A of the vaccine distribution plan. As of yesterday, the state had given out a total of 1,159 vaccines, make that 1,160 now. This is all happening, of course, almost exactly 1 year after we started talking about the coronavirus here on Up with KREM. After they gave out that vaccine to Dr. Ajoho, there was a nice round of applause, a lot of laughter and happiness, as this is, of course, a symbol of hope for the rest of the pandemic. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
And healthcare providers throughout the inland Northwest are receiving their first shipments of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, and here's what we know about how many vaccines are already here and how many can be expected in the future.
The Spokane Regional Health District says the county has been allocated 3,900 vaccines, and right now it's unclear how many doses are in Spokane County right now. But the state will be receiving 62,400 doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine.
The Department of Health says Washington will get 222,000 doses by the end of this month. That's who healthcare providers and facilities will receive their vaccines from. And if the Moderna vaccine is approved, Washington could receive another 180,000 doses this month. That's about 400,000 total before the start of the new year. Well, Providence confirmed Wednesday it received just under 4,000 doses of the vaccine. A spokesperson for them says these doses are not enough to cover all of its high-risk caregivers, but they are confident in future supplies. Multicare confirmed on Wednesday that they'll receive a shipment next week. They couldn't give specifics on a timeline or dosage numbers. Both organizations also confirm none of the vaccines will be available to the general public. They'll go to the highest risk workers, the ones most directly exposed to the virus. And even then, this first batch won't be enough to cover everyone.
Meanwhile, long-term care facilities have their own program to receive the vaccine. A partnership was established between the federal government and major pharmacies to help with distribution. Now, we called around to some facilities in our area, and we did confirm that many of them, including the Spokane Veterans Home, the Gardens on University, and Evergreen Fountains, have signed up to get their vaccines from CVS or from Walgreens. However, none of those facilities had any information on how many doses they might get or when they might get them.
The Panhandle Health District received 975 doses. The health district is set to receive 1,950 doses of the vaccine. Spokesperson Catherine Hoyer says they are storing the vaccines until they can distribute them to their healthcare partners. The shipment represents about 14% of all vaccines given to Idaho. The health district made partnerships to have dry ice on hand to help store the vaccines. Meanwhile, Whitman County received its first shipment of the vaccine, and you can see here on your screen as the arrival of the first batch of vaccines. Pfizer vaccines must be stored at minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is why Washington State University is storing the doses in ultra cold freezers. And Gritman Medical Center in Moscow is ready for their first coronavirus distribution. Their vaccine storage systems are being monitored by technology made on the Palouse by Schweitzer Engineering Labs. The first shot is expected to be administered at 12:15 this afternoon. KREM will be there live to cover that today.
And Mike Pence got the vaccine at the top of our 5 o'clock hour this morning. Take a look.
Karen and I were more than happy to step forward before this week was out to take the safe and effective coronavirus vaccine.
All right, well, Pfizer says they have millions of coronavirus vaccines ready to go, but they haven't been told where to send them. They released a statement saying Pfizer is not having any production issues with our COVID-19 vaccine, and no shipments containing the vaccine are on hold or delayed. We have millions more doses sitting in our warehouse, but as of now, we have not received any shipment instructions for additional doses. They went on to say they've shared every aspect of our production and distribution capabilities with Operation Warp Speed and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Meanwhile, an FDA advisory panel is now recommending Moderna's coronavirus vaccine be authorized for emergency use.
Yeah, and it comes 1 week after the same group of scientists endorsed Pfizer's vaccine. Moderna's vaccine doesn't require the ultra cold storage that Pfizer's does, meaning it can better reach rural communities.
It looks like the benefits outweigh the risk from what I've seen.
Our vote was even more overwhelming tonight.
The FDA says it will work rapidly to authorize Moderna's vaccine. Nearly 6 million doses could start shipping out in the days ahead.
And of course, looking locally now, one thing we've all been paying attention to this week is this, what it looks like outside. We're going to check in with Jeremy Legoo. What's it looking like right now, bud?
Oh, man.
Sorry.
I know. Earlier this morning, Joshua walks in and goes, "There's no snow left." I went, "Yeah, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it." And trust me, I have tried my best to look for any chance of snow in the forecast. And I think our closest shot to maybe getting something could possibly arrive in the next 4 hours. But it's not going to amount to anything. Don't expect any accumulation. And with temperatures up above freezing already, it's likely anything that falls is going to be those raindrops that melt as they hit the ground. And that's really about it. You can see it there as you kind of track this system moving along Interstate 90. It doesn't have much moisture, but we are keeping a close eye on it because it could give us like a little something maybe. Yeah, but not really. Our best shot at any moisture today comes later on this evening when temperatures are going to be up near 40 degrees, and that means it is rain for us here in Spokane. Thankfully, if you want to get outside and enjoy the day, that doesn't arrive until about 8 tonight. So you should remain mostly dry. Another shot of moisture overnight. Then as we get into Saturday, a break, and then more moisture moves in later in the day on Saturday. That arrives at about dinner time. But here's the deal. You might catch a little sun today. You might catch a little sun early Saturday, but that's about it as we head into the weekend. We have got one wet weather pattern setting itself up. That's also going to bump our temps up. We're up near 40 degrees in Spokane today. Everybody is sitting about 8 degrees or 9 degrees above where they should be this time of year. This is one of our coldest stretches of the year, and here we are talking about temperatures up near 50 degrees as we get into the day on Sunday. Oh, did I mention it comes with wind? Yeah, that's right. It's going to be breezy Saturday morning, windy throughout the day on Sunday. We're talking wind gusts up near 40 miles per hour. And this time of year, wind and rain is about the only thing that could get those temperatures to climb to up near 50 degrees as efficiently as they will be. So unfortunately for people like Tim, who have 4 Christmas trees and they're counting down the sleeps until Christmas and they're looking for snow, it's just not there.
Man, I'm being called out.
I enjoy it. Enjoy it, Tim.
All right, Jeremy, thanks so much. Well, still ahead, your next stimulus check may be on its way, though it may not be coming until January. We'll tell you how you can make sure you get it as fast as possible. Well, the bars are closed, so it's the time of year to get creative. Well, especially when it comes to cocktails this holiday season. We have Renee Sabula, a cocktail historian, to teach us how to make a festive drink inspired by a classic Christmas movie.
So the drink that we're going to make is a sour, and it's called George Lasso's The Moon, and the inspiration is from the movie It's a Wonderful Life.
Got more Christmas cocktails all morning long right here on Up with KREM.